Hello and welcome to Athena's Creations. I'm Athena Turk, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator since 2017, and I'm going to show you tonight how to make this really fun box, kind of a surprise box, using new product that will be available to everybody on September the 3rd. So I'm very excited about all the contents of this new holiday mini catalog. It's my favorite every single year, and this year is no exception. Absolutely love it. And I'm going to show you how to make this easy box. I'm going to give you all the instructions and dimensions. And this box you can use for Halloween, you can use it for Christmas, you can use it for all kinds of things. Baby shower gifts, it'll fit all kinds of different things. You can fit 3 to 4 D blocks, so it's deep and big, and there's plenty of room, and it's super easy. All you need is your paper trimmer, some beautiful paper, and 1 sheet of cardstock. So let's go ahead and get started. Hey Barb, I'm glad you could join us tonight. Let's go ahead and put the camera down. We'll get started on our stamping. There we go. That's kind of high up, so let me adjust just for a moment here. Let me get all this. All right. The box is super fun and super easy to do, so I'm excited to share that with y'all. All right. Just a couple of minor adjustments here. There we go. All right. So, easy box, sending Christmas wishes, and I'm actually using several products. So this is Pine Tree Trimmings. It's got some dies that go with it. This is part of the online exclusives that will be available September 3rd. So I'm using, actually, for this one, Sending Christmas Wishes. And I'm also going to be using the Christmas Greenery, traditional labels, and the dies for all of those, which is this beautiful suite of product. Here's some of my playing around bits and pieces, if you will. And as always, for this box, I have a template and all the pieces that go with it. So I'm going to use 1 sheet of red cardstock, and you can either screenshot it or write down the measurements as I go through. This is 8.5 by 11, and on the 8.5 side, you're going to score it at 2 3/4. Turn it and score it again at 2 3/4, so both sides. Then you're going to turn it on the 11-inch side, which is the bigger side, and you're going to score at 2 3/4, 5.5, and 8 1/4. And then we've got the 2 side panels, and that's 2.5 by 2.5 for your designer paper. Then the back and the front designer paper is 2 3/4 by 2.5. The designer paper for the top of your box is 2 3/4 by 2.5. Now our cardstock, here is, let's just do this one at a time. This is what it's going to look like. And we're going to cut up to the score lines. And then I'm going to show you with the paper trimmer, we're just going to slit from one side to the other, okay? So that you have this nice opening. And then something to remember, this is where our glue is going to go. In the top of the box, you want to add whatever ribbon you're going to use first, and I'm using Tear and Tape. Then you cover it up with your designer paper. Important step there. Okay, so let's get the paper trimmer out. And I'll show you the slant. Now, it's pretty much equal squares all the way around, it looks like. Very close. And we're going to cut the slant, because you know, I don't trust my scissoring very well, so basically, I don't know if you can see, but the score line, there's a score line here and a score line here. And so basically the top here to the bottom here is what we're going to line up in the track. The top, and then you just move your paper until the bottom of that score line is on the bottom part of the track. And then you just trim it down just like that. So you got this nice little piece. You're going to do the same thing for the other side. The top of the score line here to that one there, we're just going to put up into the groove there. And then here's the other score mark. The top of the score mark there and the bottom here. Just double check that. That's how easy that is, right? Now let's go ahead and get our scissors for paper. We want to use our paper scissors. Hey Tracy, I'm glad you could join us tonight. And then as you can see on the diagram, we're going to cut all the score lines on the 11-inch side. We're going to cut up to the score line, okay? This is the 11-inch side. We're going to cut all the way up on the inside up to that score line. Okay, same thing for this side. Cut all the way up to that score line. And I realized I probably should have done the, I get my steps out of order, but that's okay. I probably should have gone ahead and burnished all the score lines. So I sort of got ahead of myself. That's okay. I'm just excited to share a new thing that I've learned. Every time I learn something new, you guys know I love to share it, especially if it's something I've just recently learned. And for me to be able to replicate later other fun projects like for Valentine's or, you know, whatever fun event that might be coming up, I like to make templates. Because to me, if you have a template, and since I'm a visual learner, templates are a saver for me. There we go. I have my bone folder, but I mean, the score lines are really good. If you have arthritis, bone folders are really good for that, so just keep that in mind too. All right, so now that we have everything scored, we're gonna put our glue, which I'm gonna use tear and tape. And you can see on my template, I wrote the glue. So we'll put tear and tape in those places there. Okay, let me grab that tear and tape right here. Very nice, strong adhesive. You are welcome to use liquid glue if you'd prefer. I figured if I use tear and tape, I can kind of walk it around. And then we're going to talk about how we're going to put this together first. Just because if you're like me, you want to make sure that any extra flaps, if you will, are toward the back of your box. Tear and tape is great because you just basically tear it, and it's double-sided adhesive. It works really, really great. Okay, so let's think about how we're going to do this. Basically, we're going to do one panel at a time, okay? And then, since this is the front of the box here, this piece will come this direction. Does that make sense? And that's how we're going to adhere it together. One thing at a time, right? So up toward the top, you're going to go ahead and one at a time take these off, the tear and tape. Oops, and then I'm going to bring this one, this panel, Gonna bring it up basically. Okay, so getting our box started here. Oh, I'm making this really fun box. And it's deep. It's like 3 inches by 2.5 inches deep. It will hold a lot. So this is what we're making. Okay. So same thing here. On this side, we're going to go ahead and take these off. I just saw your question or your statement, Tracy, and wanted to show you the fun box. As soon as I learn something new, I share it, and I try to use new product. And I always make a template because, well, I want to be able to do this in the springtime when the spring catalog comes out, and, you know, when there's Easter and stuff around the corner, that kind of thing, you know. This is something you can use for all kinds of projects. Okay, so that's how far we are now. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. And it's easy, okay? It uses 1 piece of cardstock, so super easy. So since this is the front, we want these final panels to go toward the back. And so that's how I'm putting the box together. Let's see here. So for those of you that got to pre-order from this catalog already, I'm curious what your must-have was. There we go. I like this traditional Christmas. So I got the entire suite. I actually used some of my points. So that's really nice that Stampin' Up! Keeps track of all your points for you. They'll save it for up to a year. And I say probably all summer when they first started switching us over to the rewards program, and I saved them all because I knew I was going to place a decent sized order. Not getting everything I want, but my top 3 or 4. Okay. That's how easy this is, okay? Right? That's super easy. Very easy to replicate. And so next, let's work on the front. This ribbon is in the catalog. It's part of a suite that is really, really pretty. It's not one that I got, but I'm a big embellished person. I love the ribbons and I love the beautiful embellishments that are available. Like, I haven't played with this one yet. It's Faceted Snowflakes, and it's part of an online exclusive suite. Oh, and it's beautiful. Beautiful. All right. So there's the dimensions again. I don't know if you're going to screenshot how that'll work, but there it is. So this is the Balmy Blue, and part of, in the catalog, it tells you some of the coordinating colors. And there is some, like, it's Pool Party, but this Balmy Blue I just thought was just really, really pretty right there. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to get a piece like so and trim it. And we want to make sure we put that on there before we put our designer paper. And I'm going to use tear and tape. So this is an important step if you want to have something to pull it open. And it's a dual purpose when you use the tear and tape, because you'll need to have some adhesive for your designer paper. And so this Balmy Blue sheer ribbon, oh, it's gorgeous. This is great ribbon to use with that. I think it's a carryover product that may still be available, Cute as a Baby, I think. So there's a really cute bundle that would go very nicely with. Alrighty. And so the measurements, again, on the 8.5 by 11, so on the 8.5 inch side, you're going to score 2 3/4 on each side. Then on your 11 inch side, the long side, you're going to score at 2 3/4, 5.5, and 8 1/4. Super easy. And then there, that's where you're going to put your glue. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and get our little packet out of all the goodies. And that's what I do when I host classes in my home. I will have everything cut and ready to go for you. We're going to be using some fun pieces here. And I did put little sticky notes here so that I don't mess it up when I go to put it on. And also to help you if you're, taking notes or something, you're just now joining. So the two sides, and I double checked measuring them, it's 2.5 by 2.5. So it's almost 3 inches deep, and then wide by 3 inches. So it's pretty deep to hold some things in there. And every time I do this, I realize, I probably should have looked around the house to see what I could have fit in there to show you. But trust me, this is deep. It's a big box that you can put all kinds of stuff in. And it's a square box. It's fun. Chocolates, candies, of course. Probably several little hand sanitizers, packs of gum. I have a pack of gum right here. So you can fit some gum in there. Breath mints. I mean, it's pretty deep. You've got a lot of room for stuff in there, just for a little quick sample there. You could also put some embellishments and things like that in there if you wanted. Let's see, what else will it fit? Just a bunch of different things, right? Very, very cute. Okay, so we've got these two sides. We'll just do it one at a time. The two sides. Isn't that pretty? It's going to fit just like that. 2.5 by 2.5. Just recently stocked up on my adhesives. Oop, there's a little bit hanging over there. Okay. If you didn't want to use a bunch of designer paper, you could also use some cardstock, maybe run it through an embossing folder, give it a different texture design if you want. Lots of possibilities. And I kind of see where I'm going to want the paper before I add my adhesive. And I'm using the Stampin' Still Plus. And I've used up the other roll. And again, you can use tear and tape. All right, so then the top of our box is 2 3/4 by 2.5. Okay, two sides and the top of the box. And it's going to go over all of that adhesive. Isn't that gorgeous? Let's see. Maybe I'll do it like this, and then I'll have the tag. Nope. There. And I can move my tag around so that it doesn't cover up anything. Okay. And then we go take that tear and tape off. That's double-sided adhesive. And you just kind of touch it, make sure it's in there. And so the last one is front and back. It's 2 3/4 by 2.5. That's so pretty. Oh my goodness. So just pick whichever one's prettier for the front of your box. It's a great way to use up some of that beautiful paper in your private stash. If you're like me, you've got quite a bit. And I still bought more. There we go. All right. This paper is gorgeous. Got that gold in there. Oh my goodness. Beautiful. And for this paper, I like that side, but I would prefer using this one because it's just so beautiful and decorative. And these will all be available to you September the 3rd, so a couple of weeks away. It'll be here before we know it. Okay. So we'll go ahead and do the front of the box. We're also going to do our stamping. Sending Christmas Wishes, which is coming from an online exclusive bundle, Pine Tree Trimmings. That's where the wording is coming from. That's a fun bundle I can't wait to dive into next. And then Just for You. And of course, hands down, my favorite embellishment, I think, in the whole catalog. These are flat. They're traditional sparkling sequins. There's 240 of them. Ooh, you are right, Barb, about the ornament. This would definitely fit like a single ball. Like if you have one of those floating around and you're like, uh-oh, I don't have a place for it. You're right. It is big enough for that. Ah, Tracy, you're right. That's a great idea that Barb had there. Okay, so Just for You. And the Just for You is in the traditional labels. And in the catalog, you'll see how cute it is. Just for You. And then this is Pool Party. But yes, my favorite embellishments. Secret Sea. Another favorite. And all of the new in colors, if it's part of designer paper, all of the in colors are on sale till the end of this month. So, oh, so cute. And then that one's going to be in red, real red. Sending Christmas Wishes. I have so many stamps on my desk here. It's crazy. What did I do with that beautiful stamp? Sending Christmas Wishes. It was really here a minute ago. And it's a small one too. Let me find it. There it is. Found it. Okay. I almost don't have enough desk. All right. Sending Christmas Wishes in real red. And then this is from the die set that's part of the entire suite. And all of these are photopolymer, and I absolutely love photopolymer. So in case you missed the update, there's an update this week. They are not going to have the red rubber stamps anymore. They're phasing them out. So if you're a red rubber fan, sorry. I think all that I've been using so far is photopolymer. I absolutely love it because you can see where you're stamping. The red rubber and the wood blocks, for me over the years, it had been just almost impossible to, line it up, especially if you didn't get it on the block or whatever correctly. That's what I love about the photopolymer. You can see exactly where you are stamping. And sometimes I still will get it, off-centered or whatnot, but, for the most part, this one, I can really see where I'm stamping, so I like that idea. Okay. And we're going to put this cute thing right here. It's going to cover a little bit up, but that's okay. And then I fussy cut this one out. Some of the pieces that were part of the designer paper, which is really cool. And then we're going to get this small red embellishment. Because, well, we can't have too much. Well, you can never have too much bling. And so this one, we're going to use a big clear. I guess that's what it is. Clear right there. And then we're going to use a couple of smaller ones. And this tag is part of a tag that was shown in the catalog as a tag. I just decided to pull it in for a nice little surprise when you open this up. And we're going to put this one to the top. There we go. Just for you. That is how easy it is to make this little box. So easy and so fun. And this was my first time to play around with it. So as per Athena, I like to have the little templates. This really, really helps. But I have all of the things cut for you when you come to my workshops. And we're going to have fun this weekend. I think we have a new stamper coming. I'm really excited about that. I think Dora's friend is coming. Now let's move on to the next one, which is going to be messy. We're going to do a messy project, and we're going to do some heat embossing, and then we're going to do some more really pretty cards. And before we do that, because I have a whole bunch here, I'm excited to share with you. I did want to show you, I call this my little palette. So this is like the wood piece that comes in, or like chipboard rather, and this comes in your paper pumpkins, in your kit collection. And that's great for stamping with photopolymer stamps. So I'm using this as a palette to put all of my die cut pieces from the suite. So when I'm designing cards or I'm trying to come up with a new fold or something, I've got something readily handy for me to play with and use and utilize. In fact, I went through some of those half pieces and I glued them together. The half pieces at the end of your designer paper, and you can get more out of the product. So I wanted to share that with y'all. Okay, here's a fun, messy project. And this is actually one of the cards that I've got ready to go for my Stampin' Gals for Saturday. And this is using the Merry Christmas from the Jolly Holly, which is currently available. It's an online exclusive. It's currently available to everybody. And then after we do that fun technique, we've got this one I'm going to share with you and change it up just a tiny bit. And this sentiment is going to be coming from a new bundle called Sign Design that's an online exclusive. And this is a technique from the annual catalog. So I saw that and I thought, I'm just going to play with it and see what happens. And I was excited to see the result. And so I'm going to share all of that with you tonight. This one's the fun one that I learned at a demonstrator meeting. I go to them once a month, and I tell you, it doesn't matter how old I get, I am continuing to learn new things, and I love new techniques. And this one's a messy one, but it's a fun messy one, and I want to share that with you. And I did pre-do bows for my Stamper Saturday. And basically one sheet of cardstock, 11 by 8.5, scored at 5.5, and then cut at 4 1/4 so that I could fit it in the die and run it through the machine. So this is the card front. Watch what happens. This is a fun magic to this card. I can't even remember what the technique is called, but I definitely want to go ahead and fold it, because I only want the ink on this top right here. Basically, you're going to get you an ink spot, a Stampin' Spot, and you want some, paper in the background. Whatever this is called, I forget, but it hardens up, and I didn't have time before to rinse it, because you could do this directly on the glass, and this would clean it up, but it's not wet, so I'm just going to use my handy standby that you can see I've used it plenty of times. But you're going to get an ink spot. And this one's going to be shaded spruce. You get these in paper pumpkins. If you're a subscriber, you get a new one every month. And then any of the kits collections that will have stamps, you can get one of these Stampin' Spots. So I've got quite the collection. And for this right here, to me, it's the easiest just to use your ink spot. This is the fun messy. Okay, you see this is just white cardstock. You're just going to go over it like this. It's messy, but it is fun. Look at that. Who wouldn't want to play like that with ink? And since we're covering the middle, it doesn't matter what that looks like. What a fun effect that is, right? You will get inky fingers or whatever, so just be aware you might need to go wash your hands because they'll wash off with water. And then I'm going to let this like dry for a couple of minutes. So I'm going to set this aside. And we're going to do our stamping. We're going to stamp Merry Christmas in real red. Oh, you have a new team member. Oh, that's awesome. That is so exciting. It is awesome when you get a new team member. Congratulations, Tracy. It's always a great thing. All right, so Merry Christmas. Right there. And this one I have kept on the block and used several times because for some reason, and I don't know why, I tried to line it up because there's two separate stamps, right, in this one. And it took me a while to line that up. I don't know why, but it did. So I keep it on there. While that one dries, I think Stampin' Up! This week also shared how to tie a bow or a ribbon. I'm using gold striped mesh ribbon, and it's one of my favorites. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I like to tie my bows starting out with like 2 rabbit ears, kind of like what I did when I taught my son a couple of decades back how to tie his shoe. So we're going to cross the rabbit ears, and then the left ear is going to tuck under, and then you just pull it through. And that's how I make my bows. And I keep it on the spool, and I just kind of work it, tighten it, pull it, and you just work it until you get the size that you want. That looks really pretty. And so for this one, I'm going to get my ribbon-only scissors. Voila. That one is ready to go. Next, we're going to adhere these two together. Just like that. Really, really pretty. Now, the dies for these are from another favorite suite of product, and it is the Peace on Earth. I think I have that one over there in the, I don't have it up here, but I've used a lot with that one. We're actually going to make a couple of cards with it tonight, kind of casing the new catalog. All right, so this one we want to pop up on dimensionals. I definitely have my favorites, that's for sure. Okay, hopefully that's dry. And we're gonna put this one up in the middle. Like right there. And my bow, I'm gonna use a glue dot. And put that one in the corner right here. And you wanna make sure that your ribbon's gonna fit an envelope, so you can have it draped as long as you want, as long as it'll fit inside there. And then, I don't know about y'all, but I love these. They're still available online, which is awesome. I can't remember the name of them. For some reason, I put them in here. Oh, I know why I put them in here. Because these were clear left over from that. Let me grab that for you. I hate when I don't have the correct name for something. Let's see. Oh, I thought I had it right here. Well, that's what I get for thinking. Anyway, so this one is the Adhesive Back Sparkle Gems, and you can see that these are all clear, but I use my blends to color it in. So even on any of the speckles and clear that you have in any of your sets of embellishments, you can use your blends to color it in, which is amazing. You can make it whatever color you want. And then this one, it's still available. Like I said, I thought I had the packet here. I could tell you exactly what it's called. I do. Here it is. Okay. This one is Cherry Cobbler and Pearl Adhesive Backed Berries. And then I basically use my blends to color it in, although the originals are darker. Oh, I used real red. I should have used cherry. That's why. But it still looks good for the purposes of this card, right? And again, when you get down, you've used all the red ones, you can color it in. And put your little, either three or all different together. Just thought I'd add a little extra something to the card. So there's that fun, messy card. And that is actually the one that they are going to be stamping Saturday. So that's a lot of fun. So let me put that over here to the side. And hope you're ready for this next one. It's going to be super messy but fun too. And it's the, let me clean that off real quick. There we go. And it's from the annual catalog. That's what gave me the idea. And I just kind of was playing around with it. And I thought, I don't know, let me just try this out and see what it's like. So this idea for this card, using new product, is in the annual catalog on page 132. And it says, go for the gold, right? Swipe your Versamark along the side of the card, and then add your gold embossing powder, emboss it. And so that's what I did. And this is what I came up with. So the next one that we're going to do is like that one. But I'm going to try to do what the catalog showed. So we'll see how that goes. And then I made another version of it using same product or similar product. Again, I love those embellishments. And this one was just fussy cut out. This one's kind of busy. And the inside, may it be filled with joy, which is from the Sign Design, which is a new bundle with a punch. May it be filled with joy. I don't know about you, but this one all by itself kind of reminds me of maybe a tombstone for Halloween. Trick or treat, be sweet. Anyway, that's where the inside comes from. And we're going to stamp Sending Cheer in green. So I'm going to need to clean that. Let's see. And that was just a sample to share. And I got my shimmy to clean my stamps with. That way it doesn't leave anything on there. Here's all the goodies for this one. I've pre-die cut out a lot of stuff here. Make it easier for everybody. We'll do our stamping and then we'll do that heat embossing and then we'll assemble it. And this beautiful ribbon, again, it's part of that suite on the cover. It's one of my favorites. Gold edged ribbon, shaded spruce. This is gorgeous. Love all that beautiful glimmer and shine. Oh, it's gorgeous. Let's see. Put that bone folder here. I don't use enough, or I don't heat emboss near as much either. And it's Christmas cards are the best time for that. I mean, any time really, but yeah, I definitely need to do that more because you always have some really neat designs when you do that, I think. You can always, if you wanted to do a line, you could always use that tape that's at the back of the catalog. I don't know if it's called tape. I forget the name of it, but, and you can, or even tear and tape too. Might cut it, well, that might tear your paper, but, all right. So set the card base aside. Sending Cheer is going to be in shaded spruce. And then we'll come back with Christmas in real red. Basically to set up your blocks, because this is interchangeable. This set, traditional labels, lots of wording that you can change up. Sending Merry Wishes. I mean, there's so many different possibilities, right? Excuse me. And so this one I basically lined up sending at the top here, and then the word cheer here. And then I brought the clear block and picked it up, so that when I stamped, it would be there each time. So this is really a fun, sweet, a fun bundle. Lots of fun playing with this one. You could even do sending birthday cheer. So not just Christmas, you could do birthday, sending birthday cheer. I mean, I should have made a card like that. That's so cute. Maybe I'll do that next week. That's so fun. Sending birthday cheer. That's a possibility. All right. Lots of great ideas here. And then I've got the next card, I think, is casing the catalog, which, you know, I do that when I get a new suite of product, because to me that just kind of opens up the creative flow for me. I think I need to re-ink my real red. We'll see. You can have this straight. You can have that at an angle. It looks great no matter how you put that on there. Sending Christmas Cheer. Gotta remember on the inside. Now the thing about this die is it's got a little bitty flap there, if you will. And so I'm kind of thinking that's what I'm gonna do is, but first we're gonna, before we assemble, like I said, I need to focus. We're gonna go ahead and stamp the inside of the card. And then I will take, that will have all of our stamping will be done. May it be filled with joy. So sending Christmas cheer, and then on the inside, may it be filled with joy. Using Secret C. And the wording is so fun with this one. I really like that. Okay. So again, we're going to set all these pieces aside. And now we're going to have some messy fun. Again, I'm going to get the, let's see, what did I do with that cute little thing? All right. Got our embossing buddy. I'm going to stamp on, or do that side. Get your Versamark and just bring it kind of like that. That's what it showed in the catalog. We'll see what it looks like. A little different, and it's fine. And if you don't have the kit, you can always use a piece of scratch paper. Get your gold embossing powder. I still have plenty of powder from before, even though they've changed the line, and it's, I think, called Wow. Okay, there we go. Then you can always tap the back. That's going to be interesting. And I'm going to use this part of the tool to hold it for when I emboss it. And this will get kind of in your workspace, so just be aware of that. And then just line it back in there. Now I do have this part of the kit essentials that you can get for the embossing kit, but I used the white, and I think I'm going to use that on my next week's project. Again, heat embossing, I need to incorporate more because it's really a beautiful look. Yeah, that's messy. I'll have to clean it here in a minute. That's okay. Let's go ahead and emboss it. We'll put it on high, and it's going to glisten and look really amazing. I agree, Barbara. Y'all should start posting more of your creations. Would love to see what y'all are making. Okay, it's starting to glisten. It's kind of a blob, but it looks good. See how it glistens? That's embossed. And you just keep moving it, the heat gun, over until it glistens, and then go down and slowly go over again to the right until it glistens, and come down. Oh, good. Post it in our group. We would love to see, be inspired by your creations. I would love to see y'all do this technique too. Isn't that fun? I love that. A little bit of fun there. All right. Now while that cools, I'm going to use my shimmer, or chamois, excuse me, and I'm going to clean the surface here. You can see there's a little bit of glitter. That's okay. It'll wash right out. When I'm done, I've got all kinds of pretty colors on my hair, or my hands. All right. Now, give it a minute to dry. There's still some, embossing powder. That's why this toolkit that you can get online with everything like this keeps it all in one spot, and then you just undo the screw here, and then it pours right back in and keeps it in a confined space and not everywhere. But in case you didn't have that, I wanted to show you an alternative. All right, so next we're gonna start to assemble the card. Now, I don't know if you noticed the difference. This one, it said to brush it across. That's what the annual catalog showed to do, and that's what I did. On this one, I just pushed the pad there, pushed it in the middle, and I pushed it over here. So again, it just kind of gives a little different look depending on where you place your Versamark pad, but it's still a really cool look. Now, I don't like how this turned out, so I'm going to change it up just a tiny bit. And so before assembling, because that's going to be the front, I'm going to sort of put this one together first, and it's going to basically wrap around. At least I believe that's what it's going to do. That's what I want to do for this one. So this side, it's going to look backwards, but this side I just want to do a little tuck like that, okay? Hopefully this makes sense. I've got my fan on, but mercy, it's warm. I'm not a fan of summer anyway. Okay. That's what I mean by I want it to tuck, okay? And that's the thing about these dies that is really intriguing to me, and I didn't know right away until I started playing with it. And then it was like, oh, wow, that is incredible. And I really don't want to waste too much, so let me trim this down. I don't know what I can do with that other than make a knot in the middle, but so we're going to fit it through just like that. I'm going to add my adhesive. It's gonna go right in the middle. Then you just want to tuck that ribbon right there. And it's coming together. Sending Christmas cheer, may it be filled with joy. You could, again, you could do, instead of Christmas, you can do birthday. And there's lots of great birthday stamps that are available. The Stampin' Seal Plus is really strong adhesive. But if you make a mistake and you try to pull it up, it will pull everything up. Okay, so to me, this is a more polished look. And then there's one more piece. Our cute little piece right here that I fussy cut. And then again, those amazing embellishments, one of my favorites, which is right here. And I want to use the big red right there on the corner. Kind of accentuates that really pretty poinsettia. And then a big clear one right there. It almost looks like it's gold, but I think it's kind of like clear. And then that's like a really pretty blue, light green color. My favorite embellishment. Now this one, I'm going to try to fix it. And I think the only way to fix that piece right there is to use a glue dot. And it did fray. I don't know that there's a fix for the fray, but glue dots work great for holding down ribbon. Okay. I think they all look amazing, very different in their own right. Yeah? I don't know, which one do you like best? This one's really busy, but I like the extra flower piece to it. I think this is my favorite though. All right, so that was the box and a Christmas card. Next, we're going to continue casing the catalog, the mini catalog. This was casing the annual catalog, that technique there. Again, I'm not sure what it's called. And then this one is also casing the catalog, the new mini catalog. Oh yes, I will definitely post for everybody. And we will miss you Saturday. It's going to be fun. And I turn this one into a fun fold. That's scored at 2 1/8 and 5 1/2. Sending Christmas wishes. That's going to come from this one, the Pine Tree Trimmings. And this is just like what's in the catalog. And so we've got our piece of olive, old olive, which is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So it's a quarter of a sheet of cardstock. And this one's gorgeous. So it only uses a little bit of this designer paper, but look at those poinsettias. I think I'm going to have to do a beautiful fun fold showing off the beautiful poinsettias. So pretty. I hate to cover that up, but that's part of the design here. And then this was, again, beautiful. Either side, right? And then I really should have written down because I always forget the names unless I see it in front of me. It's the Peace suite of product. It has heartfelt prayers. Will work with these dies too. So I always like to show a little, look, that'll work too. So these right here, I just basically the die cut out with the die cut. Same thing for that one. And then let me give you the proper measurement. So this is 5.5 by 8.25. And on the, or excuse me, 8.5. So 8.5, you score it at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. Use my bone folder. And then this one, it's a fun fold, but then it's got some layers and thick cardstock on it. So the card base, I'm using thick white cardstock. It's basically half a sheet, and then you fold this over. Even though I scored it, that helps. You just want to make sure you burnish it, because like I'm using that thick white. All right. That's how easy that is. And so this one, it's going to line up at the bottom flush. I usually hold down one side and lift up the flap. Add some adhesive. I don't need to put a whole lot because I'm using the Stampin' Still Plus. It's super sticky, really good stuff. If you're going to use the liquid glue, which is another alternative, so in case you don't get it exactly, you have a few seconds wiggle room. This one, super nice and thick. So we're going to decorate this, and then we'll add it to our card base. Really nice cardstock. Okay, we've got this one that we're going to fit as close to the top as possible. Somehow it cut off. This must have been at the edge of the paper. It's still usable. And the nice thing about when you get the entire suite, not only do you get the designer paper, but when you use all of your paper up, which I don't know who does, but sometimes you might use it all up, you still have the stamp set and the die cut pieces that you can stamp and replicate as many times as you want. And you can do like I did last week, I think it was, or the week before. You can heat emboss the image with gold, and then go in and color in with the blends to kind of give that very similar look. Again, when you've used all your beautiful designer paper. All right, so we're gonna put this one down first. And again, you wanna make sure it's gonna fit close to the top, but within the confines of the measurement here. And then, just to kind of give it an idea, there's our sample. Before I place this one, it's going to go as close to the bottom as possible on this one here. And just got to advance it a little bit. Very, very nice. Hate to cover that side up. It's gorgeous, but hey. And then we're going to do our stamping. Season's Greetings. I prefer Merry Christmas, but every now and then, if it's for somebody that you're not real sure about, if they enjoy celebrating Christmas with the Merry Christmas, you can always use the Sending or Season's Greetings. I'm doing it because this is case in the catalog, meaning exact how it is in the catalog. Probably the only time I use the Season's Greetings, but that's okay. To each their own. It's nice that they have a variety of options. Sending love and joy. Could be at Valentine's Day. It could be an anniversary card. Season's Greetings. Yeah. Which is on my table here somewhere. I said all that, and here I am trying to find it. Let's see. I don't have any music to play while I'm searching for this stamp set. Oh, I know where it's at. when I'm playing with a bunch of different stamp sets, I use like every possible block that I have, and I need to go through and clean some of these. Okay, so we've got Season's Greetings that we're going to stamp in Real Red. And I close the inks in between to keep them from drying out, especially since I'm using a fan in my room. And then just give it a couple of seconds to let that ink soak in. Yeah, it's kind of light. I'm gonna have to re-ink this Real Red here. And then on the inside, Sending Christmas Wishes, also with Real Red. How funny. Sending Christmas Wishes, which is the pine tree trimmings. And that one has shaker cards with it. I'm excited for that one. I have tons of ideas. I just don't have enough time to play. I actually have a couple of ideas that I've written down, and I don't know if I'll get to them, but I love playing and trying different things. Okay. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put that one right on top. And I do this for fun. I think if I did it for a job, I don't know that it would be fun. But that's just me. I don't know. All right, so this one, because it's 1/4 of an inch of cardstock, basically 5.5 by 4 1/4, it's going to be flush, meaning exactly top to bottom and side to side. Once you get it where you want it, again, I hold it down and then I just lift up, and then up to that score line is where you're going to add your adhesive, not over here. That's important. I forgot that the first time I did this fold, and it was a mess, but it happens. Voila. And of course, my favorite embellishments, which I just ordered a couple more of these because I have a feeling this is my favorite. It's gonna be my go-to for all of my cards, I have a feeling. And then I think for this one, it was the white on the red poinsettia, but since this poinsettia is pink, I think I want to do red. So let's do this, because why not? And we're gonna put a little red right there, and then we're gonna put a little one over here. Oh, that's so pretty. What do you think? Are those gonna be your go-to embellishments too? Oh, this is fun. I love it. So that, again, that's case in the catalog. And I think I counted, you get about 15 to 20 of these per 12 by 12. So you could make really fast, easy cards just getting the paper. I recommend the entire suite because it comes with an embossing folder, which we're gonna play with next in a couple of cards. We got like 2 or 3 more cards. But I would recommend the entire suite because you get all the ribbon and the embellishments, you get the paper. To me, you could just do so much more when you have the entire suite. But that's just me. That's what I would recommend. Now the next one, we'll come back to this suite in a minute, but I want to go and try. This one is from this other suite piece that I love. And sadly, every now and then we need a sympathy card. And this was the sample in the catalog. So I think Heartfelt Prayers might be nice on the inside of this one with Deepest Sympathy. This one's very simple. This is a 5 1/4 by 3 for the designer paper. Super easy. And then with Deepest Sympathy, Fit the Punch, which is part of the Sign Design and the Sign Design Punch that coordinates. And that's an online exclusive that will be available September 3rd. I love intermingling all the different products. It's a lot of fun. And this is that gorgeous new cloud cover. which again, it's on sale this month. And I just had a feeling I was going to need more. I'm almost on my second because I've been making a lot of cards with the cloud cover. This is part of the suite of product. Just kind of give it about 1/4 of an inch. Just like that. And then this one is the tiniest little sliver, and that's part of this suite, which is that glimmer paper. And it is 3 1/4 by 1/2 inch. And then for this one, on each side, and this is what it shows in the catalog, the new mini, I'm just going to just do in the middle, and then from side to side, notch it like that so that I have like a little banner piece. There's probably a punch out there that's retired that we had before. I don't know where it's at. But this is an easy way to notch it into a banner. Just that tiny little bit there. And then my With Deepest Sympathy. And I'm going to use Secret C. And these are another fast, easy way of coming up with sympathy cards if you need them. Every now and then you need a couple in your stash. Unfortunately, that's part of life. And I played around with some of the product, and it's like, oh, I wonder if that's going to fit, and guess what? It does. So I love being able to, and I love punches, so it was a no-brainer. I was going to get that one for sure. And I was kind of experimenting with this one, so anyway. Moving on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use some glue dots so that I can somewhat center this one. All right. The reason why I'm using the glue dots is because it's going to go on top of this glimmer paper. And I don't think liquid glue would be the best choice for the glimmer paper. I'm kind of eyeballing it. That looks good. I'm going with it. All right, and so then this one we're going to pop up on dimensionals. Kind of a 1/4 down from the top of the page there. And then we've got, this is part of the suite, Hues of Blue Flowers. You get 160. I got this one a couple months ago, and I still have plenty of paper and plenty of these really cute embellishments. Little flowers. So even though this is a Christmas set, it's also a set that can be used year-round. So again, that's one of the reasons why I got this entire suite. I just think it really works. Heartfelt Prayers. I don't remember if I cleaned that one, so let me clean that one. I think this will be nice for the inside of this card. And I think I'll use Secret C. It's another go-to color. And just apply a little bit of pressure, just like that. Heartfelt Prayers. And that's a pretty fast and easy card to put together. You could also do Merry Christmas, have some different kind of you know, some of your retired papers for Christmas, it's 5 1/4, or you could do 5 1/2 all the way from top to bottom, but this one's by 3 inches. So you get a lot more out of the paper. And then the last card is casing something we learned a while back that I'll share with you again tonight. And that is this fun card. But part of this Christmas Tradition Suite, which is on the cover of the new mini catalog, is this huge embossing folder that I forgot to showcase last week. So I wanted to share that with you. Again, all this will be available September 3rd, in a couple of weeks. Traditional Wreath 3D. Now this is huge, right? Okay, so it is 6 by 6. So I got a piece of my two-tone cardstock, and I got 6 by 6, and I ran it through, and that's what it looks like. So I've seen the sample in the catalog, and I think you can. It's definitely geared for like scrapbooking, which is a great idea. I don't know why I was thinking it was smaller, but that's okay. I still use it on the next card. And then I just kind of cut it up a little bit, or cut it down. So there's some different possibilities. Haven't seen a whole lot with this one just yet. But what I ended up doing for this card, it's 4 by 3 inches. And I put the 4 by 3 in from this direction and ran it through. But that's part of the suite. And casing this card, this is what I came up with. What do you think? Oh, I didn't put some, I need to put some embellishments in there. I forgot to do that. But what do you think? And it opens like this. And may it be filled with joy, which is from the Sign Design. And then this little greenery is part of this Christmas greenery. This entire suite, I'm telling y'all, it's one of my favorites. And this shows off both sides of that gorgeous designer paper, okay? And using basically everything in the suite, which I forgot to add these gorgeous embellishments. You do like the color combination? Oh, thank you, I'm glad. Let's see, and I love all this bling. Let's do the greenery bling. We haven't done the green yet. Ooh, I like that green. We're gonna have a couple right here. And then we'll put the third like right over here. Bling. Oh, I love the bling. Okay. So this is what we did for Creativity Now, this direction. But you can also have it going from side to side, which is what I did. I was going to do this Sending Christmas Cheer this direction, but it looked better to me this direction. May it be filled with joy. And if you want a screenshot, here it is. Oh, I'm glad y'all like it. Thank you. The inside white piece is 5 1/4 by 3 3/4. This long piece of Designer Series paper is 12 by 4, so you'll get 3 of this fun fold with 1 sheet of cardstock. And you're going to score it at 2 inches and 7 1/2. And then the little embossed cardstock piece is 4 by 3. Super easy. So let's put this one together. I think this is the last one tonight. We've done a lot, but you know, like I said, I have so many ideas. I don't know that I'll have time to play with all the ideas, but I will share as much as I can. Because like I said, I do this for fun. Like I said, I don't know that it would be fun if I had to meet a certain quota to make money from it. I don't know. I just enjoy doing this. You can see it, how it turned out. And that's the thing about that's something too I wanted to mention. I didn't really do it on that one, but you can kind of see a little raised white on this two-tone cardstock. And then if you have like your little nail file edge or whatever, you can add some extra white in there and it just kind of messes with the fibers of the cardstock, and it looks great, right? So that's another fun possibility. All right, so our 2-inch scored is going to be the top of the paper. Or the left side. And it's designer paper, so when you score designer paper, just be careful not to push too hard because it could rip the paper. Cardstock, you want to be firm, but designer paper, just be careful. And it's going to go this direction. So let's do our stamping first and then assemble. And again, sending Christmas cheer, just like the other card, Secret C. Sending birthday cheer, so we could do birthday. Oh, I just love how this is turning out. Now, while we have the Secret C open, we're gonna stamp May It Be Filled with Joy, which was just here a moment ago. Let's see. There's the little leafy piece. Sending Christmas wishes. May it be filled with joy. May I find it soon. What did I do with it? Oh, it slipped off over here to the left. Here we go. May it be filled with joy. It's going to be right in the middle. There we go. I have way too many stamps on blocks right now. But like I said, when I'm playing and creating, I tend to get a little messy. That's okay. And then shaded spruce for the tiny little greenery, just to give it a little something for the inside. Purely optional. But to me, it just kind of finishes your card out, makes it look really good. Okay, so that's for the inside. Now we've got Christmas in red, real red. All right, here we go. It could be straight on or it could be at an angle. Either way is just fine. All right. I hope you have enjoyed these cards tonight. I certainly have enjoyed creating them. I'm going to put this in. Kind of find that sweet spot where it's centered and where you can see the dots. You can kind of line it up, which is nice. That helps. Again, I'm going to hold down one side and lift up the flap to add my adhesive. Better advance it. There we go. Okay, next we're going to do some of the ribbon. Longer piece on the bottom. This short piece is going to wrap around the top. A little piece. So all you need. This is part of the suite too, and it's this beautiful red ribbon. It's been a hot minute since we had red ribbon, so I'm excited about this one. I probably should have ordered another one. Real red, and it's shiny ribbon, so it's definitely got a really pretty shine to it. Love that one. And again, just a little bit of adhesive. A little bit of adhesive there. And then this one, we're gonna put at the top. Find where you want it. I'm going to hold it down and lift up this side and apply that adhesive there. Okay. This one's fun because it's got that little shimmy there on the edge. And then that little glue dot is coming apart. I'm just going to slip it this way, the dull side. And I'm going to use glue dots because, again, when you're using ribbon, to me it's a little bit easier to hold it down. Kind of figure out where you want it to go. And then the first glue dot's going to go underneath. Okay, on that green part. I probably should have just adhered this one first, but y'all know I get things kind of backwards sometimes. That's all right. And you want that one underneath. And that's very, very thin piece of cardstock there, right? So you just be real careful. Now that I've fed it through, I'm going to do another glue dot on the ribbon. And then I'm just going to fold it just like that. Push down. And then you come in, and if it's frayed ever so slightly, just come in and trim it. So you've got that nice little piece right there. And then, of course, my favorite embellishments. We're going to do the green, really pretty. The big one and the little one. I have definitely used this a lot. My favorite. So here we have a fun fold. Copying this one. And then we have another copying the catalog. The mini one that's coming. And then the mini again. Fun fold. And then this card. So that's 4 cards, or did we do more than 4? Did we do 5? No, we did 4. Is that right? Yep, we did the 4. And then, of course, the boxes. So fun. Pop-up surprise. Fun folds. New technique. Casing the catalog. And a fun box. So fun. I hope you guys enjoyed all of this. Oh, we did have one more. Just dawned on me. Yes, there was another one. This one, it's kind of, I don't know if the term is sloppy, what the term is, but it's a fun using another technique. So there we go. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards, and then the fun boxes. So again, hope you guys enjoyed all of this because it was so fun to create and share with you all the new fun things. I don't have room to put everything, but here it is, all that fun. And this was one of the cards that my stampers are going to make Saturday when they come for their monthly workshop. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next week for some more fun, and who knows what it will be. Probably more Christmas, but again, not real sure. Week to week, just kind of play, and we'll see you next time. Happy stamping.